Hi and welcome to Movies Suck. Well, now this story has been knocking about for the last day or so, and I just felt I had to say something about it because it's actually quite interesting and disappointing at the same time. I mean, it depends if you're a massive fan of J.K. Rowling, really. I can't say I'm a massive fan of J.K. Rowling. I liked the Harry Potter books. They were good. I mean, admittedly I had trouble getting into the very first one when I first started reading it because for the first 30 pages or so it feels very amateurish. It's funny, but just amateurish, which is understandable. First book you've ever written. But I found this story and I had to comment on it. So, Fantastic Beasts star Eddie Redmayne under attack for condemning attacks against J.K. Rowling as absolutely disgusting, which obviously they would be, because why would you attack someone for their opinion? Disagree with their opinion? Come up with a better opinion? Well, in your opinion. Come up with a better opinion? Think other. It doesn't matter really. And I'm not that bothered by people attacking people on Twitter and all that nonsense. I mean, who really cares? Although there is a lot of media attacking J.K. Rowling as well. I went through a bunch of different articles where the actual people who are just reporting the story, supposedly, were on the side of the vitriolic attackers. And I thought that was interesting, because obviously the media are behind, would you say bad guys? They're probably not bad guys, but they're just ill-informed, stupid fools, probably communists. But anyway, let's read the story. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them star Eddie Redmayne has come under fire for criticising the vitriol being levelled towards Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling for her comments on transgender issues. Oh no, comments on transgender issues? You know what I mean? Like pointing out that trans women aren't women, trans men aren't men. You mean things like that? Oh, if a trans woman was a woman, they'd be able to stick her straight into any kind of female competition and she would perform about as well as, a woman, rather than performing, say, as well as a man dressed up like a woman. I don't know how many of you guys out there have been punched in the face by a man. It hurts. Of course, it depends if it's like a bit of a pathetic man. If it's a bit of a beta, like those Antifa twats, then it's not going to hurt that much, but it does hurt. And if you've ever been slapped in the face by a girl, it stings. It doesn't feel like it's going to knock you out. It doesn't feel like you're going to collapse. It doesn't make you think, shit, I've broken something. It just stings. There's a big difference, which is why men transitioning to women should not be allowed in the combative sports. They shouldn't really be allowed to try and compete in running events either, just muscle mass and various other reasons. But anyway, enough of my opinions on trans whatever. Let's read the story. On September 24th, Redmayne spoke with the UK newspaper The Daily Mail in promotion of his upcoming film The Trial of Chicago 7, a dramatic retelling of the real-world trial of 8 anti-Vietnam protesters charged with conspiracy and rioting during the 1968 Democratic National Convention. Sounds reasonably interesting. Have to check it out. Sounds kind of left-wing, but, well, we all know what the world's like these days. Given the film's subject matter of protest and dedication to one's beliefs, the discussion inevitably turned to the topic of Rowling and her vocal defense of biological gender. Redmayne stated that while he strongly disagreed with Rowling's statements, he found the amount of vitriol being directed towards her to be absolutely disgusting, and wrote a private note of support to Rowling in the face of these attacks. And this is absolutely true. She has had some terrible things said to her when all she did was state her opinion. She didn't attack a single person, so far as I can tell. She didn't say anything mean, she didn't attack anyone specifically, or any of that nonsense. She just pointed out that, women are women, and if you try to pretend that women aren't women, that anyone can be a woman, that affects the people who are actually women, and it takes away from their life, their experience. The same thing other way around for men, obviously. Women can't really understand what it's like to be a man, the different things you have to go through physically, mentally, and, generally in your life. And men, the other way around with women, we can't really truly understand how women feel and what they go through. Same with, trans people. If you're not trans, then you're not really going to understand what they're going through so much. But what they're going through is not the same, if you're a trans woman, as what an actual woman has been through. It's not the same thing, not even close. These are all different lived experiences, and you can't invalidate someone else's based on what you would like. Which is why men are men, women are women, and there's stuff in between. But I don't know about the whole, you can't really become one from the other. Certainly you can have the appearance, but you can't really be whatever it is. And people can call you whatever they want. But that's by the by. And Redmayne is showing that he's actually a person, a man of moral character here. Alright, it seems to be maybe not the strongest moral character in the world, since he's not willing to make the note public and make his support absolutely public, so we don't know in what way he was supporting J.K. Rowling in his letter, unless of course it's been published and I haven't seen it. I don't know. So I would say for real support he should have been public over his support and the way he's supporting her. On the other hand, he obviously told her that he disagrees with her, but must have mentioned that he disagrees with her about her point of view, since he obviously thinks that anyone can be anything they feel like at any time. I personally think of myself as God. I know that you're going to say that's overdone. Way too many people say that. It's like, whatever. But there's only one God. Only one. I'm over here. You guys can pray to me all you like. I'm not really that good at answering prayers. I try, but I do my best. If, for instance, I don't manage to, make you win the lottery, or I don't manage to get you the car you really wanted, or get that girl to fall in love with you, I'm sorry. There's only so much I can do in a day. I'm only one person, and I spend some of the time doing these videos, so, give me a break. He noted that it was equally disgusting as the abuse hurled towards trans people. Similarly, there continues to be a hideous torrent of abuse towards trans people online and out in the world that is devastating, he concluded. The question is, what are you classifying as abuse? If you're classifying someone saying, no, I don't believe in trans women or trans men, then that's not abuse, that's just a statement of opinion, and scientifically a statement of fact. If that is not abuse, it is not. Disagreeing with someone is not. It doesn't matter what it is that you're disagreeing with and how personal that person takes whatever you're disagreeing with. That is not abuse in any way, shape, or form. Despite his explicit clarification that he disagreed with J.K. Rowling's opinion, Redmayne was soon attacked and accused of transphobia by internet activists who took issue with his defense of Rowling, particularly in the wake of his portrayal of a trans woman in The Danish Girl. Who would have thought that the talentless opportunist who jumped at the chance to play trans for Oscar bait would be this pathetically clueless, wrote Pajiba and sci-fi fangirls writer Kayleigh Donaldson. Why does she think he's talentless? I've seen a few of his films. He seems to be pretty talented as actors go. All she's doing there is a little bit more of that vitriol that Eddie was talking about earlier, just redirected at someone else for once. Give you an example of the type of person this is. Let's read another one, shall we? Journalist Alim Karaj, asserted that Eddie Redmayne should be ashamed of himself for a perceived failure to take a stance against the harm that Rowling is causing trans people every day, and declared the actor to be a spineless little man. No, he already made his opinions clear about what he thinks, and he's on your side, dumbass. You'd have to be pretty goddamn stupid to not notice that he's on your side. The fact that he is still supporting J.K. Rowling in the face of people being rather offensively cruel and mean to her is just supporting a person he possibly considers a friend. Certainly someone who gave him a leg up in his career. So what is wrong with showing your support for someone who's being attacked? Should he jump behind the people that are attacking her and start hurling stones as well? That doesn't sound like the sort of thing you're going to do when you're in a friendly position with someone. Or, in fact, it sounds like a sort of dumbass thing. It sounds just like the sort of thing that you were doing and your friend, whatever her name is. These people are absolutely deranged. I bet I know what her opinion of Donald Trump would be. Let's try another one. Well, I guess I don't like Eddie Redmayne anymore, wrote Alliance for Justice Press Secretary Zach Ford. Agreeing to play a trans character wasn't great in the first place, but defending J.K. Rowling, someone who cares more about his Fantastic Beasts career than the trans friends he claims to have. No, he's made it clear that he supports trans people, and anyone who wants to say that they're like a dishcloth. He supports all these things. He just doesn't like people being really mean to someone else based on an opinion, since J.K. Rowling at no point said anything mean to anybody else, and what she said was clearly not abuse. I mean, I have to admit, I don't really like Eddie Redmayne much. I just find him hard to look at. It's just a bit strange. Let's try another one. What about the hate she is causing? Asked writer Vanita Mehta. What hate is she causing? She's just stated her opinion. Why is that causing hate? The only hate are the people disagreeing with her opinion. She isn't getting hate, he argued. She is hating on a minority group and is getting quite rightly condemned by the public for doing so. Not the public, dumbass. by you and your other left-wing nutjobs. Since she didn't say anything abusive and certainly said nothing hateful or nothing that would create hate, all she did was state her honest and, well, factual opinion. Whether you classify that as getting hate because you're so pathetically weak that someone, maybe not referring to you by your favourite pronouns, classifies as someone hating you, being aggressive towards you, and causing violence. Oh my god, he said something I don't quite agree with. That's like being smashed in the head by a rock. No, it's not, dummy. These people are absolutely off their rockers. Earlier this year, Redmayne publicly criticised Rowling? I think you mean Rowling, for a tweet in which she mocked the growing aversion to using the term woman, stating that I disagree with Joe's comments. Trans women are women, trans men are men, and non-binary identities are valid. Just make sure you damn well call me God. Right, Eddie? I would never want to speak on behalf of the community, but I do know that my dear transgender friends and colleagues are tired of this constant questioning of their identities, which all too often results in violence and abuse, Redmayne stated. They simply want to live their lives peacefully, and it's time to let them do so. Everyone wants them to live their lives peacefully, but they keep going on the internet and bleating on about their opinions and how we should treat them the way they want to be treated, and we should call them what they want to be called, and even though that goes against what many of us believe as actually known scientific facts. We don't have to do that. And if our disagreement to do what you want causes you to feel like you've been abused, well, that's your own psychological problem. And as Eddie states here, he's entirely on the side of these people. Entirely. So people attacking him over his support against the vitriolic attacks that J.K. Rowling has been receiving is absolutely crazy. It's so stupid for people to be having a go at him over defending her. Since he didn't defend her opinion, he just defended her against being attacked. He disagrees with her opinion, as stated very, very clearly on every source I've looked at. Apparently Redmayne is currently filming the third Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them film. Oh god, that film was... The first one was okay. I'll do a review at some point. The second one, that was mind-numbingly utter crap. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. My mum once made me go see this film about these rubber dinosaur things. I've forgotten what the hell it was called, Carnosaur or something. That was proper bad, but it wasn't far behind that. It had slightly better effects, but it was utterly bad, so I'm not in any way looking forward to the third one. I might see it, I might not, we'll see. Wait till it comes out, and then I'm like, maybe I'll watch the trailer. I don't normally like watching trailers, because they give away too much of films, and if it's a film I actually want to see, I don't usually watch the trailer. But for these sorts of films, I'm always happy to watch the trailers, because maybe they'll actually make me think it's worth seeing. But anyway, the point is, what did J.K. Rowling say that was so wrong? And I've been through it. She didn't say anything insulting. She didn't say anything transphobic. She didn't say anything in any way that was showing a lack of support. She was just saying that she doesn't believe in what they believe, which is fair. And if you want to learn more about what J.K. Rowling thinks and her reasoning for behind what she thinks, if you go to her website and go to her answers page, she has this post from the 10th of June this year, and it goes into great detail about her beliefs. I'm not going to read it here, but it goes into very great detail, and her reasoning is very clear and specific, and she is still supportive of trans people in their specified beliefs of being trans, not in their belief that they are actually whatever gender it is that they're saying they are. I'm sure it should be fine for people to identify as whatever gender they want. They can certainly identify that way, but they cannot say they are exactly that thing. A trans woman is not specifically a woman, which is just what her problem is with this, since it would take away from people who actually are women and their experiences in their lives. This is a very interesting article that she wrote. It is actually an article. It's very long, and it is worth reading. So I would encourage anyone to go over there and actually have a look at what J.K. Rowling actually believes, rather than reading all this nonsense crap in the papers, which are all basically hit pieces. You should check out the shit that's on Vanity Fair. Anyway, enough of this. Let's move on to something else. This is Movies Suck saying, you can call yourself whatever you want. I don't mind. Just don't ask the rest of us to believe in your delusions. Signing out. Leave a like, share, subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the flip side.